With great love and respect in my heart, I welcome you to this beautiful Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, from Upasana. Guru Purnima is over. As you already know, it's a big day in the ashram. We have many guests from all over and so much love flowing in from all over. It's overwhelming. First of all, I acknowledge and pay my respect to that love that is in your heart, that brings you here every Sunday morning, and you keep the ashram in your heart. As I'm speaking of love, a little couplet just came in my mind. Rahiman dhaga prem ka, mat todo chatkaye. जुड़त जुड़त जुड़ जाए पर गांठ पड़ जाए. A great poet, Rahim, he has written many poetries like this. Rahiman dhaga premaka. Rahim says, the string of love that you have, mat todo chatkaya, don't just snap it. Jurat jurat jud jaye. If you tie again it together, it will tie, but then there will be a little knot in there. It won't be as smooth as before. We have many in our lives that we have that relationship with, of various kind, various degree, over little things, little misunderstandings or something. We get carried away and we snap that string. Thinking that, oh, there'll be a time when we'll smooth it out. But even after smoothing it out, there'll be a little knot in there. It won't be as smooth. So always leaving little space before we snap it. Leave a little few strings in there so you can weave it and it can make it work. Because if they're totally separate, then there is a knot in there. Baba used to say, lower the world in the depth of your heart with a string of friendship. Love that we have doesn't mean that we have to be in cahoot with each other all the time and talk up all the intimate things and this and that. The love is, may I never have bitterness towards that person. May I not send negative thoughts and vibrations to that person who I have been distanced with. It's not necessary that you talk and chat and continue as usual. That's okay, that happens. But in your heart, not sending any negativity towards that person. Wishing them well, no matter where they are, however they are, in whatever situation they are. My thing is, I hope they're doing well. I don't think negative things that this should happen, that should happen to that person. Everybody has their story. Everybody has their situation. Whatever happens, whatever they do to you, always leaving little space. That is a friend. That I do not send negativity. I do not wish them any kind of harm. Even they have done harm to you, by wishing them harm or seeing them being harmed, in the beginning it may feel a little good, but deep inside, it really doesn't. And we have all kinds of relationships in our lives, different kinds of friends, different degrees, including our parents, children, brothers, sisters, relatives. They are in our life for a reason. That Rinabandhan is there. And if I call myself a spiritual aspirant, this is work that we all need to do. Constantly looking at your heart. Am I sending negativity towards anyone? If I'm not sending positivity, at least I'm not sending negativity. If the negative thoughts come in my mind, I have to do some very active practice. And that is the practice we learn. The practice, if you don't know what else to do, just stop your breath wherever it is for a moment. Just stop it right here. Close your eyes. Be still. A guru will always remind us, do not get caught up with these small things. Guru is more concerned with the journey of our soul and constantly reminding us the purpose we have come in this world is totally different than where we get entangled. May I never lose my focus of constantly remembering my journey. We live in the world, we interact with people, and we have different kind of experiences and relationships. That's totally fine, but that is not the whole thing. My journey is very unique. My journey is my own journey. And every day I have to take a moment and think about that. Negative emotions are very powerful. It's like a mind just hangs on to it like a dog hangs on to the bone, does not let go. It keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. And our job is to notice it, not totally give into it, because that's not who we are. That's not what we came here to do. Keep the key of your happiness in your own pocket. Don't put it in somebody else's pocket. Baba used to say, oh friend, if you want to live a happy life, forget the harm the other has done to you. And forget the good that you have done to the other. And remember two things. Remember God and remember death. Forget the harm that other has done to you. It's a tall order, but it can be done only by remembering something higher. Remember God, remember death, because with the death, everything ends. All that just ends. How lucky we are if that ends while we are still alive. And that will end only by remembering our higher purpose, or what we came here to do. आए थे हरि भजन को ओटन लगे कपास. Kabir. We had come here to remember God, but we got busy picking cotton. And this, getting entangled with our worldly things, is picking cotton. May I be a friend to everyone. This is the sentiment. This is the sentiment that we live with. If I can just remind to myself, may I be friends with everyone. And friend doesn't mean, as I was saying, that you have to be in cahoot with and talk about every little thing. Friend means I wish them well. Even if they have done some harm to me. Instead of just hanging on to that, I take my mind to the good qualities in them. Yes, they are in my life for a reason. They have been there. There were moments they were good. Because of some weakness or misunderstanding or their shortcoming or my own shortcoming, whatever the reason is, if it's not there, still I leave little space for that. May they be well. Sending negativity, wishing them harm, does not do any good to me or to them. I'm not honoring, respecting my own divinity if I get caught up in that game. Somebody may do that to me. Somebody may not live up to my expectations. How do I save myself from losing my center? My journey is my own journey, and I'm responsible for this journey, not somebody else. So if we find our mind flowing and getting into all that, I have to just stop be grateful, be thankful for all other blessings in my life. And there are plenty of blessings in our lives. And training our mind from the negativity towards gratitude, towards all the blessings in our life. Mind will come. The mind which has caught on to that bone like a dog, mind will come. Yes, but by thinking, it's not going to help. This is why this simple little practice that we do, that pausing our breath wherever it is, pulling the mind back to the self and letting it rise from the navel to the heart. Keep opening their heart lotus. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 9 time. If it's required, do it 9 times, but stay with yourself. Love is a beautiful, powerful medicine. And its love is not only for somebody else, it's actually all about self-love. Self-love. This is being kind to ourselves when we save ourselves from negative emotions. That is honoring the divine in me, divinity in me, when I save myself from negative emotions. I'm not saying that I'll always be positive and exuberant. Some, even. If I'm not feeling all great to wish them well all the time, don't. But don't send negativity. How good it feels to us when we are thinking of someone we love or someone who is just thinking about them brings a smile on your face. How good you feel in that moment. But the moment you start thinking about somebody that you are negative charge, your own heart begins to tighten. So Rahiman Dhaga Prem Ka Mat Todo Chatkaye. If somebody has done a little harm to you and you are thinking about it all the time, don't just snap it, that I'm never going to see them again. Or write something. Now, nowadays, you have to be very careful with all these texts. Thought comes in and you type it up and shoot it off. That's a reaction. We are reactive, and then we write a text and shoot it off. We have no time to sit with it and take a step back, take a deep breath, and remember these little tidbits that I share with you, reflect on them. Gone are the days when we get those letters, and those letters were much more meaningful because people would sit down and think and type and write. Now these texts arrive. And the ping pong goes on, starts. So how are we going to maintain that we don't snap, is something we all have to consider. May we not be so reactive. And even if there is a reaction in the mind, may I not just immediately text. we will have to do something. Either we react or we respond. The action that is taken, maybe we look at ourselves, whether it's a reaction or it's a response. Reaction is something immediately what comes in my mind, I shoot it out. Response is whatever comes in my mind, I sit with it. Sit with it. Take a few deep breaths, do my little practice, open my heart. Think about it, how it's going to make the other person feel. If it's going to make him feel defensive, then they are going to do the same thing. Then this thing starts. Where do we stop it? If I call myself a spiritual person, spiritual aspirant, I sit with it. I take that energy in and try to transmute it, try to transform it. It's not easy, but it can be done. We had a beautiful 3 days of focused time here at Upasana. And as you know of Triratri, we work on with our practice. Some of you who are familiar with Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, these are the 3 forms of Shakti that we evoke. And a thought came to me during this Triratri that we call Divine Mother, Goddess, we give it a name, but actually Mahakali, Kal means time. Think about this. Time that we are in. No matter where we are in, no matter what situation we are always in the lap of time. So Kali is none other than time. I'm just throwing this at you. Now you meditate on this. Kali is not somebody black dancing on a dead body and tongue hanging out and blood dripping out. Kali is time itself. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, opulence, prosperity. Lakshmi is expansion, spreading. Lakshmi is space. Saraswati is wisdom. Wisdom is consciousness itself. Time, space, and consciousness. So, if you have ever thought about Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati, goddesses sitting on the lotus or riding a tiger, or those are all just images of time, space, and consciousness. And all these 3 aspects, Trigudatmak Shakti, all these 3 gunas are always, we are surrounded by. It's part of our life. Anyway, this little insight in my meditations and during this Triratri came, and I wanted to just share this with you, and I won't go into much detail. But if you have ever sitting looking at who is in front of me, most of you have delved into this and you have heard these names before, and even do little puja and incense and all that. But we have to go beyond that. Like, don't hang on to the finger. Don't think this is Kali, this is Lakshmi. The finger is pointing in a direction and we have to look in that direction. Time, space, and consciousness. You are always in time. Time is the one that gives birth to something and annihilates it as well. That is the characteristic of Kali. Time heals. No matter what we are going through, give it a little time, it's past. Lakshmi is opulence, expansion of the heart, opening of the heart. She's sitting on the heart lotus. And consciousness. We are all one because we are all part of the same consciousness. It's not my consciousness and your consciousness. That consciousness permeates everywhere. Anyway, that's our little thing that I wanted to offer to you this week. And the active work is, do not break the string of love with a snap. Leave a little space, take a little time, and constantly keep checking your heart that I'm not sending a negative vibration, negative thoughts towards anyone. I wish them all. I wish everyone well, even my enemy. I wish them well because we are part of the same consciousness. We are not separate. With these words, I bow to those three goddesses residing within your heart. And thank you for your presence. And I will head back to Sonoma today. Thank you all. Before we go, wherever you are, just pull your spine straight. Open your shoulders. Lighten your mind and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Imagine all the restlessness settling down the way sand settles in a glass of water. Connect with that breath, rising from the belly to the heart. Attention coming back to the belly with the breath out. Pausing the breath wherever it is. Put your attention towards on your heart. Release the breath before you begin to tense. Pause it again. Let the attention be on the heartbeat. Release it again. And pause again. Effortlessly, the heart is beating. Effortlessly, breath is coming in and going out. Unconditional love of the Divine Mother is with us every moment. May we honor this presence, respect this presence, and save ourselves from negativity. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful week ahead.